This news update is brought to you by...
This is how we flow. Oh, the offers are quite exciting, and the prices will leave you smiling. Everybody's got a cheerful glow.
Get the new Samsung J5 plus 1 gig free data starting at just $345.
This is the Barbados Today Afternoon Update for Wednesday, December 30. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Lawmen are on the hunt for the perpetrators who shot a police constable during a drug bust at Story Gap, St. Michael this morning. Police Public Relations Officer, Acting Assistant Superintendent of Police, David Welch, says the officer, whose identity is being held at this time, is currently being treated at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. His condition is unclear.
This morning, the police conducted a drug eradication operation in the Story Gap area. During the operation, they were met with gunfire. Then they discovered a cannabis field in the area. As a result, one member of the drug squad received a gunshot injury and was transported to the QEH where he's now being treated for that injury. At present, we are now on the scene searching for the perpetrators. We're asking persons who would have seen any suspicious activity around that area to call us at 211. The information we kept is strictly confidential.
That was Police Public Relations Officer ASP David Welch. 2015 has been described as a turnaround year for Barbados' bread and butter industry, but Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc., William Griffith, says crime and a recent pileup of garbage continues to be a cause of concern. Bridgetown was recently voted Destination of the Year by international and regional agencies, and Griffith is encouraging officials in the industry to ensure that the country maintains that status. And for that to happen, he says the island needs to address the garbage disposal problems.
What I find concerning, and there's been some discussion on it, is the amount of trash that exists on the island, and I think that needs to be addressed. We've come through a challenging period with sargassum this past few months. And I think that everyone has taken a breather, so to speak, because it's definite that the quantity of sargassum has abated significantly in the last 6 or 7 weeks, and we hope that it stays that way. But I think the advent of sargassum certainly has taught us a lesson that there are elements that can affect our business in ways that we haven't even anticipated. So I think it just speaks to how much our readiness has to be.
Griffith also expressed concerns about how the issue of crime was being reported in the country.
I think today, when we report one crime and we make it a headline, I receive it as a Google alert 20 minutes later from all over the world. And sometimes the way how we project the issue internationally, in many ways we don't realize the implication of how we report that crime, or how we report the story, or how we headline the story. And that is why I'm concerned about it. I think that definitely it is something that has to be addressed by the authorities that deal with it. And behind the scenes, not only our partners at the BHTA and certainly the police, everyone in government or minister and so on.
Former National Conservation Commission workers say the last year and a half have been nothing but tough. In fact, some who spoke with Barbados Today say they felt let down by the government. In some moving stories, they expressed frustration at the delay in the settlement of their cases and the difficulty in securing alternative employment. A class action case which was brought before the Employment Rights Tribunal by over 80 of the severed workers has been adjourned indefinitely after 2 cancellations. Some of the workers have placed the blame squarely at the feet of the Frundle-Stewart administration. Margarita Franklin, who was employed at the NCC as a caretaker for over 14 years, declared yesterday that the government does not care about the people.
The government doesn't care nothing about the people of Barbados. And that's what they did, is what they're doing, right? They won't stand up for anything or for us. That's what I think about what's going on. The minister, he should have said, but let me get this case resolved, even if the compensate me or reinstate me, whatever they want to do, because the money-wise would have been helpful if we had got our money. It would have helped us to start out our little business or whatever we wanted. It would help us.
To be honest with you, it's very hard. It's my wife one working, and sometimes it be tough on her. Really tough on her.
What she does?
She assistant chef.
Assistant chef. But
Yeah.
it's tough on you.
It's tough on both of me.
On both.
Still call 2 years, and she had women go to carry train, but it don't be easy.
Right now, I still owe Waterworks 5 somebody, or like for 3 somebody.
Okay.
Had to be struggling. Right now, I owe my father partly $10,000 from the time he was home until we're still last week Friday.
So things
Sorry,
really bad.
last week Thursday. My father take me for three cases of drinks, and right now I owe he for them too. So
Things really wrong.
bring things right wrong. Sometimes I even have to go at my next door neighbor and ask for something, sometimes free to cook.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
To news from the region, members of Venezuela's Socialist Party are challenging the election of 8 opposition candidates in the recent legislative elections. That poll was held on December 6. The opposition won a 2/3 majority, which enables it to challenge Socialist President Nicolas Maduro. However, the Supreme Court reported that some losing candidates had filed challenges, but it did not specify the grounds on which the appeals were being made. On the international scene, prosecutors in Pennsylvania filed first sexual assault charges against U.S. comedian Bill Cosby. Cosby has been charged with aggravated indecent assault after an investigation involving a former local university employee and an alleged incident in 2004. He previously said on the oath he had a consensual sexual encounter with the woman.
The charges today are filed as a result of new information that came to light in July of 2015. Statute of limitations in this type of case is 12 years. After determining that the statute of limitations regarding potential criminal offenses had not yet expired, the investigation was reopened. Working with Chief Norris and the Cheltenham Township Police, Montgomery County detectives and prosecutors from our office, our team reviewed the initial investigation, re-interviewed some of the witnesses, examined evidence from the civil case, and information from other alleged victims.
And finally, the U.S. Space Agency, NASA, has warned that the effects of the current El Niño weather phenomenon could be as bad as those in 1998. The current El Niño is being linked to several floods and unusual warm conditions in the northern hemisphere. More in this BBC report.
But El Niño forms when temperatures in the central and eastern tropical Pacific are at least half a degree higher than normal for several months. This occurs when a burst of westerly winds in the West Pacific sets in motion a large and slow-moving wave that rapidly warms the ocean just beneath the surface. This is what has happened earlier this year. As sea surface temperatures rise, El Niño forms. This ocean warming usually lasts about a year and is part of a complex cycle linking atmosphere and ocean, which happens every 2 to 7 years. So what can this Pacific warming mean? El Niño is never exactly the same twice, but it makes certain weather patterns more likely. Australia, Indonesia and the Philippines are likely to be drier than normal, as is India, where El Niño encourages a weaker monsoon. In South America, Peru and Ecuador get much heavier rains between January and May. For the United States, wetter weather becomes more likely across the south during autumn and winter, though with fewer Atlantic hurricanes. Conversely, the warmer Pacific can feed bigger, stronger typhoons, which are more likely to hit Japan and South Korea.
And that report brings us to the end of our Barbados Today afternoon update, but you can join us again this evening for the very latest. You can also visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also, subscribe to our e-paper, our email updates, and of course, like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screen play at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 101 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. There you can get all the latest news and sports. I'm Frenella Wedderburn. Good afternoon.